In 2018, Mary ran her first 10k in 46:34, and in 2019, she ran a 43:39 and then a 42:31, and that was that. Until December 2022 when she matched that 42:31. But then something crazy happened. Last weekend in February 2023, Mary destroyed her PB by nearly 3 minutes and ran a crazy 39:36 10k. It was so unexpected but really exciting, and it shows what's possible. So we sat down and tried to pinpoint what changed in the lead up and what stayed the same, to give you 8 tips we think could really help you run that 10k PB you're after. And if it helps, consider subscribing so we can help you some more. Yeah, I'm sure intro Ben just explained that way better than I can at 7 o'clock in the morning, but essentially we're trying to pick apart how you just took 2.5 minutes off of your 10k PB. That's pretty spectacular, right?
Yeah, I think so, if I do say so myself.
If I do say so myself. So we're going to go on a run, we're going to take you through our week, and we're going to explain how this happened, because it looks like it's very dramatic, but it's a lot of hard work behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go running.
Let's do it.
Hey. And the number one thing, probably the thing we think is the most important in all of the 8 that you've done, is that you have now become more disciplined in your running, but you're going to explain what that means.
Yeah, there's no question about whether I'm running or not anymore. I'm doing it. It's all about discipline now. And I used to let work win. So if I was busy, I would cut out the training sessions, or I would only really get consistent if I'm training for a race. And now I'm training for life.
Yeah, if I give you my coach's point of view on Mary, it was that when she had something to focus on and train for, you were ultra disciplined, ultra consistent. And when you didn't, you let work win because you felt like you had nothing to train for.
Yeah.
And now what's happening is, it doesn't matter if you have something to train for or not. We haven't had races in the pipeline, but you've got up and you've done it anyway, because now you're kind of taking the view that this is for life. This isn't for a race. You're just getting consistent and being disciplined. And that's the big shift that I've noticed since August. You've been ultra consistent. Whoa, that's a lovely view, but we have messed up our run. We're in the wrong place. We want to take you to a nice beach, but we're in, I don't know where we're in. We're going back to the nice beach. Okay, let's go. And the second thing I think you've done really successfully in the short term is that you've really focused on your mesocycles. So let me explain. A macro cycle is a period of training towards a goal. So it could be 6 or 8 months training towards a marathon. It could be 4 years if you're an Olympian training towards the Olympics. And a micro cycle is each individual session, like each run. A mesocycle is what I call blocks. So you've had a real focus in your blocks on something specific each time, haven't you?
So within each block, I've had a different focus. It might be base endurance, it might be speed endurance, which has been more of my blocks lately. But general structure within my training has been a really key focus. So adding in other things aside from running, like kettlebells and Pilates, and really focusing on rest within my structure of training, prioritizing rest, recovery, using the leg compressors, the massage gun. So structuring everything really well to get the best out of myself come race day.
Yeah, rest feels important when you structure it in.
Yeah.
And that's a big shift.
Yeah, really prioritizing, thinking I've got to get ready and go to bed because I need sleep. I'm going to get up at 5 a.m.
Because it's part of the plan. And for our next 2 points, you're going to be joining us on a hike. We're going up to something called Dragon's Crest for the view, and we've got some interesting things that we think we've worked out about how you improved that we're going to talk to you about while we're walking. This may not go well. This might be the last you ever see. This GoPro might be the last thing. Just find the GoPro footage. Ooh, we're still going up. The other thing we think we've done well, or Mary has done particularly well in the last 6 months, particularly, have I said particularly? Did I just say that?
Say it once
okay,
more.
Particularly is volume and how we've increased your volume, because it hasn't actually been a lot. What was the
6 months previous and the last 6 months difference?
Okay, the 6 months before was 696 kilometers over 6 months.
Yeah.
And then the last 6 months I've done 330 more actually.
Yeah, so we haven't massively increased the volume, but where Mary's really succeeded, I think, is that consistency. When we look at her week in, week out, it was like 50, 50, 50, 25, 50, 60, 50, 25. It was like really consistent volume, increasing with a recovery week, whereas you were a bit scattergun before then, weren't you?
It was just really inconsistent before, and then the last 6 months I've just nailed it, building each week in each block, double run days, 5 days running per week.
Yeah, so it hasn't been a huge increase in volume, but it's been an increase, and I think that's shown. And then throw into it that we just did as a team 2.2 million steps in a 3-week step challenge. So
yeah, I think that for my base fitness has been amazing.
Yeah,
just increasing my steps each day, low effort, but yeah, just getting that heart rate going.
Onwards to the top. Another point, and you won't be surprised to know this one, is the fact that we've acclimatised. Mary's acclimatised. We've been 18 months in the country now. Mary's getting to the point where the body is just able to deal with the heat better when you're running, right?
Yeah.
So for us, it's acclimatisation in heat, but I know that that's not really a problem for the majority of runners looking to run faster. So what I would say is acclimatisation also, not that it's climate-based, but getting used to just running. You're another year into running consistently, right? And sometimes just big drops happen when you've just been running consistently for a long period of time.
Yeah, my pace definitely slowed when I first got here, and I got used to the surroundings and the conditions and adjusted. My body adapted.
Yeah, so your body's just getting used to more miles, but also the climate.
And our fifth point, which is the final point of today while we enjoy our mango smoothies. Favourite drink in Thailand, by the way. If you're ever here, you've got to get one.
Mango shake.
Oh, sorry, Mary always corrects me. Anyway, mango something is belief.
Yeah, I think my belief in myself has really developed. Partly through training with other people, which has pushed my paces on. So I've been hitting times beyond what I thought I was capable of in training. And I was leading the pacing in some of the track sessions, and that felt really good. I felt like I could control and push myself. And then unexpectedly I got a PB 3 weeks before the race in a half marathon, and I didn't set out to get one, and I ran a PB, an all-earth PB, and I thought maybe I have got it in me to still improve and get my times even faster.
So yeah, I think you just opened yourself up to the possibility that you were capable of more than you might have imagined 6 months ago. And that's the message to everyone watching this is, what if you were capable of more than you thought you were? You owe it to yourself to give it a go, which is exactly what happened in your race last week. You just got to halfway and went, this is on, I'm going to give it a go.
Yeah.
And you never looked back. So belief can be a really powerful thing when it comes to running, and I would just say that everyone has to just believe that you can do more, and it's okay, and failing is okay, trying. I mean, how long did it take you to run the PB?
I mean,
Years.
I felt like I wasn't making progress, and now it's just come all of a sudden, and it's like, just if you keep working, you will see the results at some point. Definitely.
Okay, time for us to relax and try and watch the sunset before our last full day here tomorrow.
We stretch time. We stretch life.
Okay, you're going to have to hear me out on this one, just bear with me. But one thing that definitely helped me on Sunday to achieve my PB was my pink kit. Okay, it doesn't have to be pink, but for me, something I've always noticed when I run well is that I'm feeling good, I'm feeling confident, and for me, feeling good in what I'm wearing to run in is a big part of that confidence. So I did get this new kit last week, and did it give me a little extra boost and push me to that PB? Maybe, because it made me feel really good in myself, made me feel really comfortable, and most importantly, confident. Confident. And when you're feeling confident, then you're going to achieve your best.
And the penultimate thing that Mary's changed is probably one of the biggest things actually in recent months, is that we've moved to the type of track session that is manageable, repeatable, and you recover well. So we call them Kipchoge sessions, but basically Mary's been focusing on speed endurance. So she's been doing kilometre repeats, 1200 metre repeats, 3K repeats, rather than the really short, sharp stuff that you put in a real shift on, but you struggle to recover from, and sometimes it's actually too aggressive for what we're training for. So given that we're a little bit older, given that Mary's main focus is half marathons and marathons, we've focused on longer speed endurance intervals, and I think it's paid real dividends because Mary recovers quickly. She's able to put in a good shift. You know, she's running sometimes 345s, 350s in the actual repeats, but that's not your top end, and therefore you recover, you're good to go again the next day.
It's recovery day. No exercise for us today. The final point that we think got you to your PB, which is probably one of the most important in terms of race day, isn't it?
About my race strategy, which I've totally changed.
Yeah.
So I used to focus on my time constantly, and I've stopped doing that. Now I'm focusing on how I feel, and I pretty much only check my watch when it beeps for each kilometre, apart from at the end when I'm checking how far I've got to go. But it's just allowing me to run more freely and more comfortably and more in rhythm and flow, and not either hold back or push it out of what's possible at the time.
So you're focusing on more just how you feel right there in the moment? Yeah, because I think feel is a really important aspect that is undervalued in racing, because when you look at the top level athletes, they don't wear watches on the track, they don't wear watches in marathons, they must know their paces.
Yeah, if I had have been in my old strategy, if I'd have seen 356, I would have really pulled back, because I would have thought you're not going to be able to hold that. But in my new thing, I was like, well, I feel fine, so I'm just going to keep running, and then I'll look at my watch later.
Yeah.
So it's definitely got the best out of me using that new strategy.
So I think the other thing that we should just touch on is that you're just more able to push yourself into a bit of pain, like you know that pain is not going to be a limiter in your performance.
Yeah, I know what it's like to hurt in a race. I mean, after that marathon, a 10k can't really scare me because I was in pain for like 30k.
Yeah.
So it's okay to get a bit uncomfortable. As long as my running's feeling good, then I just keep going and embrace the discomfort.
Yeah. Now, if you'll excuse us, we're just going to chill on the beach for a bit. What would be good now if you went underwater? I know you're not going to, but... And there it is. I hope that helped. Thanks for watching. If you feel like you need to go more in depth on any of the points made in this video, then just ask a question in the comments or scout around on the channel, because there are plenty of videos designed to help you be the best runner that you can. And if you like the video enough, you're definitely going to like this video, which is how to run a faster half marathon, which might be the next step on your journey. Thanks for watching. Consider sticking around and subscribing. I'll see you on Sunday.